Chenault, and it's the Tom Chenault Show. I hope you're all having an unbelievable day. Sitting here in the studio in Longmont, Colorado. Very, very happy to be a part of you on this show. I don't know if you saw my Facebook Live earlier. I am a displaced man. I have been evicted from my home by Adrienne Chenault, and now I am living with my mother-in-law, Kay Wicks, and it is fast times at Ridgemont High over there. It is truly, she's not that much older than me, about 10 years, but I'll tell you one thing right now, that house is quiet. It is immaculate. It's on a golf course. And hell, I may not even move into the new house. I might just live with her. That's how cool it is. So I hope you're all having an unbelievable day. We got a great show for you today. We're going to open it up with Steve Wallach, who is a lifelong network marketer, who is so dead serious about the network marketing business. He doesn't do it part-time. He doesn't do it full-time. He does it all the time. And he's a student of the profession, and he's a student of money and the stock market. And this combination has allowed him to be the CEO at a publicly traded network marketing company, be one of the founding members of the Distributor Rights Association, which is now the ANMP, decided, and he didn't even love the DSA, but he decided to get on their board to affect change in it because he knew he had to protect this great profession we're in. I love this guy. I've said before, if I was only going to have one pallbearer, and no offense, I'm glad Adrienne's not in here right now, because I'm telling you, if I only had one pallbearer at my funeral, it's going to be Steve Wallach. That's where this guy is for me, that deep. And I am going to tell you, I'm so happy to have him on here. How are you today, Steve Wallach?
Doing good, Tom, doing good. Thank you for having me on.
Well, we're just super pumped about it. And you know, what I love about you is you measure 12 times and you cut once. Yet you've got the ability from having over 30 years in this profession to see around corners. And you've done that with your company. And I have been your worst nightmare over the years. I am positive. Because I've tried to get you to change direction, do this, do that so many times because I wanted you to follow the trends. And you said, you know, we're not going to follow those trends. We might set some trends, but we're going to stay the course. And you built a business plan, you executed it. Part of it was being publicly traded. And you did that for a couple of reasons. You wanted, your distributors to be able to buy into the company and own part of the rock. You wanted to have the ability to raise money. And third, you wanted to have the transparency. And I have loved everything about that whole experience, other than what you go through on a daily basis, trying to serve shareholders and distributors and all that goes along with those things. So having said that, tell me how it's going, Steve. How you doing and how do you like network marketing in the year 2019?
I love network marketing, Tom. I've said for as far back as I can remember, it's a beautiful business model. And as long as it's used to deliver products or services to the end consumer, it's the best business model I know of. And you're right, I've done it since I was a teenager, or I've been involved in it since I was a teenager. I've built a successful distributorship with Michelle, my wife. And so, you know, we started as newlyweds, deep in debt and not a whole lot of opportunities, working 2 jobs, going to school full time, and our network marketing business on the side part-time became our life. And so I've lived it, we've lived it firsthand, just how it changes, how it has the ability to improve and change people's lives through the opportunity aspect of it, but also through the products. So as long as your company is based in great products or services and does things right, then you know it's the best business model in the world as far as I'm concerned.
And I believe you believe that. And has it gotten easier for you in all these years? You know, you're growing and you've gone through peaks and valleys. I mean, the good news about getting to talk to you all the time is I get to hear from you how other companies are doing, trying to deal with eBay, Amazon websites, multiple websites, all the garbage that goes along with all that stuff. Is it getting easier in this day and age, or is it getting a little harder every day?
I think there's always challenges, Tom, that any business faces, whether it be in our situation as a profession of network marketing, whether it be the Amazon effect, Amazon, eBay, online sellers and platforms. But I'm sure I've told you this, but I was talking to somebody the other day. Years ago it was retail, when we're primarily a supplement business, and certainly health and wellness. And when all of a sudden retailers started having shelves and aisles really of supplements, and it wasn't isolated to Vitamin Shop and GNC anymore, it was, well, retail is going to kill network marketing. And I didn't believe that. I didn't believe they were competition for us because of the people involved in network marketing and direct sales, where it's word of mouth, it's personal experience, it's products that have stories that need to be told. And I didn't believe it. Now all of a sudden the retailers are going out of business because of Amazon and the online selling platforms and things, and people are saying, why, that's the end of network marketing, Amazon this, Amazon that. I don't think so. I don't believe so, for the same reasons, because we as a profession have the benefit of people being able to share their personal experiences with great products and services. So I don't think Amazon does anything but creates current challenges for our profession. I don't think it dramatically changes it. The basics are the basics. The people still remain the people, and our products still are products that people get to talk about and share their personal experiences with.
One of the things that I notice about Amazon, and the things I notice about the billion-dollar network marketing companies that have been around a long time, the USANAs, the Amways, the Nu Skins, they are not single ingredient or single product companies. They are completely varied in their product decks, and it almost becomes transfer buying. And what happens with people when they go to Amazon, they've got their $10 bill and it's transfer buying because they're going to spend it in 9 different places on Amazon. And what you've done is embrace that same model of many, many, many verticals to basically let people do exactly what they're doing at Amazon or eBay, yet they're doing it and buying it from themselves. Is that the philosophy?
That's certainly part of it. Absolutely. People want to purchase from their own store, obviously, but at the same time, they don't want just one thing. Nobody goes to a grocery store or to a department store or to Amazon typically to buy one thing. They have a list of things, and obviously people purchase for their lives, all throughout their lives. And so all aspects, it really is an Apple philosophy. I wouldn't call it an Amazon philosophy as much as I would these days as an Apple philosophy. And that is that Apple's philosophy has been for decades that they want to be able to provide a service or a product that touches your life pretty much throughout your entire day, throughout your entire year, throughout your entire life. And so you're hearing about entertainment, you're hearing about music, you're hearing about the iPads, the iPods, the computers, you're hearing about whole house Apple, whole car Apple. And so, that's more the philosophy, I would say. And certainly from an Amazon philosophy of having multiple products, yes. But you're right, the biggest companies in network marketing have a wide portfolio of products. They're not the single product companies. And this company, our company, when we started it was with the philosophy that it would last for generations. And we looked at the biggest companies that had lasted more than a generation and saw a commonality in that they have a wide and diverse product line, not a single product company, not a single ingredient company.
That's cool. And I agree with the whole philosophy behind it. Okay. Another story out there that is common among people talking about your company behind your back is that these acquisitions that you've got, you seem to find companies that are on the downside and acquire those companies. And I always laugh when I heard that because I think it's a beautiful strategy business-wise, but I really love what you're really doing there. And that is you are making sure that those distributors that were probably headed toward a bad landing all of a sudden get a parachute by jumping in the foxhole with you. Is that correct?
It is. And one of the things that is mandatory with companies that we do this with is that they have great products. And so I think it's congruent with our philosophy as long as the products are something that we're excited about, we're proud of. It adds to our philosophy of wholesome, good products that people want to purchase and or distribute to people they know. And so as long as we stick to that, I think it's congruent. And, I think longevity was paid a huge compliment by somebody I respect highly, and that is John Fleming. And he said that he told me that what we do has changed the network marketing profession for the better, in that there are no hard landings anymore. Longevity isn't the only company doing this with bringing people and companies in this way. Certainly, there are other companies that do agreements with specific individuals and things like that. That's not what we do. What we do is we actually bring an entire company in, so the sweat equity, the hard work that the people expended to create what they had created, and including the products, live on. And you see within our company, some of the top selling products are products from other companies that have found a home here. And so, I think it's a great model, and it certainly has proven itself out, so much so that other companies are also now doing this.
And the next move for you going forward, where do you see it? Where do you see the expansion happening? Is it primarily, are you more excited about domestic growth or international growth, or, with Jordan Adler, terrestrial growth? What are you pointing at for yourself as far as new frontiers, and how hard is it to do all that?
Well, international is definitely the new frontier for us, mainly because for a variety of reasons, we focused so much on the United States for so long, and that is our primary place of business still, although now we have multiple offices around the world and staff around the world and products approved around the world. So that's definitely the new frontier. If you look at the companies that have been around longer and are bigger, and certainly you can measure it with the publicly traded companies seen within their financials, that every one of them winds up having between 50 and 70% of their business outside of the United States, just because the rest of the world is so much bigger than the United States, I think, and the opportunity worldwide is certainly bigger than the US. For us, for the foreseeable future, long into the future, I would say the US will be our biggest market, but at the same time, the opportunity definitely is out there internationally as well. So I'm excited about all of it. I like you said, I would agree. I'm a student of business. I love the business building aspect of it. And so, I would say the newest frontier for us, though, is international.
All right, we're going to take a little break, and that means that you stick around. Thank you, Ted Anderson and Genesis Communication Network. We have no radio show without your generosity. Been with you for 10 years. We'll be back right after this. And we're back, and we have my little whippersnapper with me. Steve, do you know him?
I do.
How are you?
Good. You little house stealer, you.
I know. Yeah, your landlord is more like what you should be calling me. Former landlord, anyway.
Oh my gosh. What a year it's been. And Adrian made the financially smart. You cannot believe the cat. I would love to explain to you all the cat he skinned, making that jump from Zurich, Switzerland to Longmont, Colorado. And how he, and I'm a pretty good businessman. He put his dad in the trick bag at a level no one would ever believe, man.
Good for you.
Good for you. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. So anyway, Adrian, what are you doing? Why are you in Colorado now?
Yeah, I moved home to take over my dad's home and to start a company with him. Not necessarily in that order. So we started contact mapping almost 2 years ago to the day, actually, which is pretty hard to believe. And we launched a product last September that we think is changing the world in the way that people connect with each other and build more meaningful relationships. And we are the sponsor of the Tom Chenault Show. So that's why I'm here.
Can you show that ad that you did last week during the next break?
Yes.
Okay. You guys aren't going to believe this thing. If you don't understand contact mapping, stick around for the next commercial, because I won't be doing stupid stuff. It will be awesome. Did you see that in your house last night? I took a bath and a steam before I moved out, even though I wasn't ready. Did you notice that?
That's good.
I didn't tell you the third thing I did that might be kind of creepy. So anyway, I am now out of Adrian's house, and he is living there. I'm living with my mother-in-law. I'm having the time of my life. We did build this company. We are absolutely going to change the world with it. Right inside of your company app, I know Steve's got an app that just is all of it in a bag of chips and it does the job. I know doTERRA's got an app that does it. I know the various companies all do it. We live on the front end of that. And it was so cool today. Talk about Josh Hunter and the realtor down the road, because he doesn't even Google anything anymore. He calls you because he knows you're connected or connected to me, and he gets every answer, doesn't he?
Yeah. What I really have tried to do and to show people how to do through the training and through the way that we develop this is, if you can become that point of connection inside of your community, then you're going to win and you're going to help other people to win. And so Josh grew up in Longmont. He is.
Hold it for a second. I mean, I don't care about Josh anymore. Okay, hang on. Steve Wallach. So your wife is a good friend at Oprah now. How did that come together? Did that come together just because Oprah called her out of the sky blue, or was it contact mapping?
It's essentially contact mapping. It's definitely the aspects that you guys teach and train, and so it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? And so that's how that happened. And I don't know that you might be stretching that a little bit, Tom, that she's a good friend of Oprah's, although she would like to be a better friend of Oprah's. I would say we are great friends with Stedman, who definitely has gotten us in touch with and gotten to know Oprah for sure. But that whole thing progressed through relationships. It wasn't something that was definitely something Michelle would have loved to have had happen, but it was through getting to know people that knew people that made introductions. And so what it comes down to is knowing people and developing that relationship, and really just it's what you've been doing forever, Tom, which is the coffee shop interview, really just asking people questions. And that's what you're really talking about with what you've developed, is asking questions so you can better serve people and getting to know people's sphere of influence. And you're right, Adrian, what their point of contact is and what their sphere of influence is, I would say. Beautiful.
All right, we're going to come back. You're out of here. We'll show the commercial in the next break. We're going to do about 5 more minutes of Steve Wallach. Stick around for 1 second. All right, we are back. It's Tom Chenault. It's the Tom Chenault Show. We've got Steve Wallach on right now. We'll have Simon Chan in about 10 minutes. So what you want to do is listen hard right now. We're talking to Steve Wallach. Here's a guy who sees our profession not only from 10,000 feet, but he sees it from about an inch, because he's in there every day. He's in his office at 5 o'clock in the morning. He leaves about 8 o'clock at night, and he works like crazy in between, 7 days a week, literally. I don't even know how he does it. He just works everybody under the table. He's a kid. I did a Facebook Live earlier talking about him being a mentor to me, because he truly is, because he, like he was just talking about, he does not exaggerate anything. And what's so beautiful about that is when he says something, he truly believes it to be true. And in a network marketing business, that's the most important thing. And your vision for the profession. Why did you go on the board of the DSA, Steve?
Well, it only took like 25 years. You had mentioned it earlier in your show, Tom, that the only reason I went on the board of the DSA is to see what I could do to help better the profession. If I can contribute something that betters the profession for everybody's benefit, then I'm all for it. Beyond that, it's a volunteer position. It's extra work. I'm certainly busy enough. I don't need it. But if I'm able to effectuate change and benefit for everybody's benefit and the benefit of our profession, then I'm all for it. And that's why.
You have been a leader in the CBD, no THC space, like an early adopter, which is so unlike you. And I want to know why. What made that happen, and where are you headed with that?
Sure. I've spoken at several CBD symposiums and things like that. And, it's funny because I don't think we are an early adopter. I think I'm coming to that conclusion more and more, but at the same time, I started watching it so early and started doing due diligence on it so early. I mean, I remember being on the road with you and Denise in Australia in 2016, well into what we were already doing in terms of due diligence and getting feedback back and forth from our sources in the US while I was in Australia with you guys. So that's how far back it really goes for us in seriously considering any opportunities associated with it with us. And you're right, everything we do is 0.0 THC. And, I never like to say never, but there's no plans on coming out with THC inclusive products of any level whatsoever for us. But, what it comes down to is the benefits of the phytocannabinoids and the terpenes associated with hemp. And we've all heard the testimonials from various people associated with things like medical marijuana. And that's on one hand what we're not talking about. On one hand we are, because it's the benefit of the cannabis plant, hemp in particular for us. And it's not the THC that we're talking about, it's the beneficial phytocannabinoids. So for us, I didn't think we were an early adopter, but at the same time, you're seeing this explosion now that there's access to hemp-derived phytocannabinoids and terpenes, because everybody quickly understands, so many people quickly understand the benefits, the health benefits associated with these plant nutrients. And so it's sort of like, something that we didn't have access to before, and now we do. And so certainly with our company's history, if there's a benefit for people to consume it or use it topically, and it's safe and efficacious and legal, then of course we're going to have it in our product line. And I think it's going to wind up in a lot of our products as an ingredient. Certainly we'll have the pure versions of it to where it's not an isolate, but an isolated phytocannabinoid. We like full spectrum in particular, but at the same time, it's something that I believe will wind up in products really across the country and across the world more and more and more. And we're seeing that already.
People think you're this big businessman, and you are. I do give you credit for that. But what they don't know is you are nutrition and quality of product first and foremost. And it's been your guiding light along with your father. And what you and your dad have done on this planet is amazing. And I want to thank you. And this half hour flew by. I am so sorry about that. I should have had you on for a whole show, but Steve, you are a doll. I love you. You're still my only pallbearer. So start working out, and I'll see you before you know it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on, Tom. And yes, this half hour flew by.
Stick around for a second. I want you to watch this commercial. All right. We'll be right back. It's the Tom Chenault Show. And we're back. And it's Tom Chenault and it's Adrienne Chenault. And we're going to do a little commercial for you. Because I wanted Steve Wallach to make sure that he stuck around to see it, because he's never seen it before. We're going to have Simon Chan here in a couple of seconds. And here goes nothing. Watch this. Unbelievable production here at the unbelievable Chenault Labs. If you could see how we have rigged this. Here we go.
Okay, so how do you spell your last name?
Last name is S-U-G-G-S.
Perfect. And so the last thing I always want to do with anybody I meet is I always want to take a selfie together. Can we grab a picture real quick?
Totally.
All right, awesome. Let's do that. All right, perfect, man. Thank you so much. It was great to meet you.
Great meeting you too.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, Devin. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Met Devin at the coffee shop today, period. He is originally from San Antonio, where he was a successful personal trainer, period. He got into his own entrepreneurial stuff and recently moved to Colorado looking for his next gig here, period. I talked about what he's looking to do next and going to introduce him to a few of my friends to see how I can help, period. 26 seconds. That's all it took for me to remember everything important about that conversation. 26 seconds. Do you think you could do that? I know you could. It's just that easy. In fact, when we were designing contact mapping, easy was the key word. If it wasn't easy, we didn't do it. Let me show you what I mean. Let's take a look at the app. Here's the interface on our homepage. The first time you open it, at the very top, you'll see 0 of 2 contacts mapped today. That's just our way of encouraging you to make new connections every single day. Just below that, you'll see Notes, Unlogged, and a little button called Get Inspired. The Notes and Unlogged areas we will cover in some of our instructional videos, and you'll hear more about inspiration in a moment. In the next section down, you'll see all of your follow-ups that are currently due. If you want to see your upcoming follow-ups, simply tap on See All on the right. Our follow-up process and template are the best in the business and have been designed with complete simplicity of use in mind. And since we want to help you succeed in any way we can, below that you'll find a scrollable section called Inspiration. There, we provide you with tips and tricks for building better relationships that you can take action on today. So on the homepage, we're going to help you to connect with new people each day, we're going to keep you on top of your follow-ups, and we're going to nudge and inspire you to keep your relationships growing. Now you're going to love this next little piece of functionality. See that little white plus sign in the green circle? We call that our quick trigger button, and that's exactly what it's for. Getting you to the key things you'd like to do right away, like creating a new contact, setting a new follow-up, or creating a new note for an existing contact. You'll see the quick trigger button on other pages in the app, and it's always going to take you to do these commonly used functions. This is the exact process I used when I mapped Jason at the coffee shop, and as you saw, it seamlessly flows from one step to the next. Now, down at the bottom, you'll see a navigation section. We've just shown you the home screen. You also have a section called Notes and Contacts that makes it easy for you to reference those. And finally, a really cool button simply labeled Search. It's really cool because of the depth and breadth of its coverage. It's like being able to Google your own memory. Imagine being able to remember anyone you've ever met based on anything you remember about them. A place, a hobby, a mutual friend, and instantly being able to access that person's name and everything you remember about them. It's almost like a magic trick. Finally, on the homepage of our website, if you click on the Philosophy tab, the first thing you'll see is the Coffee Shop Interview, an innocuous little title. Click on that and you'll be invited to download what we think is the world's best manual on how to become a super connector and learn to build and maintain relationships that last a lifetime. The Coffee Shop Interview is just one of the many ways we here at Contact Mapping are totally committed to your success. Sure, we have the best relationship development software in the business, but we offer so much more. Start your free 30-day trial today and experience how easy it is to create relationships that have a big impact in your life and the lives of others. Thanks.
All right, that is so funny. All right, I hope you like that. You know, I just worked exhaustingly. What's so funny about that commercial? Oh no, we have to go back, sorry. And we're back. It is Tom Chenault. It's the Tom Chenault Show, and I hope you are having yourself one heck of a day. Steve Wallach was just a great guest, and I am telling you what, that guy is so deep and such a thoughtful man and such a big thinker. It's no wonder the DSA wanted him on their board. But the next kid I really, really love. He is just an incredible guy. Very well educated, smart as they come. I was on his show many, many years ago. I think I was on his like 100th show, and he made a great big deal of it. And a lot of people have watched the interview, and I've watched it a couple of times back because I'm infatuated with me, of course. I'm kidding. But at the end of the day, this guy, I watch every one of them. That if you aren't a member of MLM Nation, you're out of your mind. This guy has unbelievable values. Faith first, family, making the profession a better place. Everything about him I love. If you do anything in your life, and you guys know this, I'm not a big generic guy. I don't do that very much. I've got a short list, and Simon Chan is at the top of that short list. He is an unbelievable man. Simon, how are you?
I'm doing awesome, super awesome, because I feel like 20 years younger. You called me a kid. So,
well, look at your little hat. You look like one of those rappers or something, man. Where's your skateboard?
I got to look good for the show, right?
Yeah, that's good. So how's it? So out of the gate, tell us what MLM Nation is, because I want to drive that home to people first and foremost, and then we're going to talk about Simon Chan. But I want people to actually grab hold of all your interviews, all your training, what you do. So who is Simon Chan, and what is it exactly MLM Nation's all about?
Well, I started network marketing in 2003, and then I retired from 2013, be a full-time coach and trainer. I felt that, I love my company, but a different purpose. I want to make a bigger impact. I feel like God blessed me to be a trainer. And we launched, by the way, I still collect a residual from that company, even though I don't do anything. I literally don't know what's going on. You cannot join my team. You cannot be my customer. It's totally a separate business. I don't touch anymore. And that guy became a coach and trainer, started ML Nation. Really, it's like the community of what's working. It's more than just one guru. And I thought back when I first started, I was like, I want to learn from the best, right? We didn't have these tools like Facebook Live. And then the YouTube came around, right? YouTube, and it's, you got all this training out there, but the problem is anyone can put up there. How did you know who is legit and who's not, right? And I wasted a lot of time. I was building, go to YouTube early on. There's a lot of junk out there. A lot of people just selling stuff. So I thought about what happens if we put because there's more than one way to do the business, right? I mean, the fundamentals are the same, but there's more than one way. Some people do Instagram, some people use Facebook, some people build, great businesses like you, Tom, without social media back then. But the fundamentals are the same. But what if there was one person that vetted out the training, find out what's working, put it in one platform? So you don't have to waste time like digging around for videos on YouTube. And that's really started the vision of ML Nation is, my purpose is to have a positive impact as many lives as possible. And is to create a community where you can learn from what is working on right now, not just one guru or one trainer, but from all the top leaders. Because even though the fundamentals are the same, everyone does it a little bit differently. And to provide a resource that I wish I had when I was building my business.
And it's worked out. I brought Adrian because he's also 12. And what I wanted to do was have some, and really create some balance here, because you guys are so on top of it with social media, with all the various things that you guys do to get eyeballs and ears on what's going on and teaching people to be early adopters. I mean, critically important. And what do you see for the future of the profession out there for you, for all of us? I mean, can you teach us old dogs new tricks? Are we headed the right direction, or you think we're going down a terrible rabbit hole, putting all our contacts into just Facebook, for instance?
Well, you put me on the spot here because, and I'm going to be, I think one of the things that have attracted people to me is I'm a shy Asian kid from Brooklyn, New York. I'm very no BS, no blunt. So I see a lot of good and also a lot of bad for the profession coming up. All right. I think the good is that there's no better time in history to get started with network marketing. Right. So it's awesome. It's like people are aware. I think it's just like on social media, everyone in the world knows of someone that's been successful in network marketing. Right now, you couldn't say that 20 years ago. You couldn't say that 10 years ago. But everyone online, you can find someone that you may not want to do it, but you know someone that made a lot of money. Back then, I didn't even know about network marketing for a long time. You didn't know about this stuff. But social media has definitely increased awareness of this as a viable profession. But I think the downside is you said teach an old dog new tricks. The reality is there is no new trick, right? The fundamentals are the same. Like, Adrian, you're talking about follow-up. That follow-up is the same way it's been following up since mankind. Man first, Adam and Eve came. We're humans. It's a relationship business. If you touch on certain needs, like certain fundamentals, like care more about others, let others talk more than you talk, following up, these things never change. Now, the platform may change. You have great tools like content mapping. The platforms may change, but the fundamentals never change. And I see what happens. A lot of people, they just, I want to do Instagram stories. I want to do, back then it was Periscope, right? I want to do this. I want to do that. And then, but they still don't have the fundamentals. It's not the platform. It's the fundamentals, right? And that never changes. And so you have like a, quote unquote, old dog, right? You said old dog, Tom, you said your words. You can still be successful in any platform you use, because you don't need to know every trick, but even if you know like the basics of Facebook, you can do well because you know the fundamentals well. You know the fundamentals of humans.
I think I'm going to kick everybody's ass forevermore because I have the fundamentals so big time enmeshed. I've got to learn all this fancy stuff. There's no questions, the click funnels and all the garbage. But I'll tell you one thing right now. I've got about a 50-year Rolodex. that I'll match up against anybody's Rolodex. And it takes people to build these business, not funnels. And I've got the people. So you're 100% right. And it takes both. But what you're teaching people is basically giving them an easier way to basically use and utilize and monetize their contacts, their relationships, and their fundamentals, right?
Absolutely. And I think there's another, what's about danger when he's like chasing the latest trick, is the tricks are constantly changing.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got a message where, people use messaging chat, right? People use broadcast messages. We all get those, Facebook just implemented 16 tags. If they're not in the 16 categories, you can't send messages or you get shut down, right? Facebook can do whatever they want. It changes, the algorithm changes. So you can focus. I'm going to keep on staying up to date with the algorithm changes. And you basically will have no life because it keeps changing. Google changes, Facebook changes, Instagram, or just spend your time investing in the fundamentals. And instead of trying to game the system, like people say, when's the best time to post? Well, there is no best time to post, right? Stop thinking about, I'm going to game and get that best time to post. Just think about creating value, helping people. Because if you're posting, like, say, some people say 7 a.m. is the best time to post because everyone's sitting on the toilet and checking their phones, right? Or at noontime, during lunchtime. But so is everyone else. So all of a sudden, you have more eyeballs, but everyone else is posting there. So the chance that your friend's going to see your post is less because the whole world is doing that. But if you just focus on like providing value, you can post at the weirdest time and people will like it and share it. At the end of the day, it's the value, the type of value giving out there, not like the latest hack. That is always changing.
I gave up. Exactly what you said. I gave up trying to figure out when the best time is. The best time for me to post is when it's fresh in my brain, and stop figuring out what you're going to hear. Figure out what God's trying to tell me to say powerfully and speak it then, even if it's at 3 o'clock in the morning in the darkness of my house. Am I wrong or am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's, people with the best time to post is a consistent anytime, as long as it's consistent.
Yeah.
If you have the inspiration at 3 a.m., it's like, well, no one's going to be up and I'm going to wait till in the morning. You wake up, your inspiration is gone. You may have like 5 other messages like, oh, you got to take care of it. We have to fight fires. Right? I got to do this. I got to do this. And all of a sudden, like, what was I thinking about 3 a.m.? And whatever you write there is not going to be the same as good as when you wrote it at 3 a.m.
Yeah. And that's exactly what he tells me every day. I cannot stand it. He tells me Trello, Slack, what's the OKRs? What do those things stand for?
Objectives and key results.
He makes me do these things every day. Simon, 2 days a week now, we have a meeting where they go through all the things I haven't done. And they're called OKRs, the kid from MIT and him. And they just eat me alive every day because I just don't do anything I'm supposed to do. But I'm massively effective because I'm spontaneous. I'm intuitive. Yeah, and not bad. But don't you love Simon a lot more than you love me?
Much more. I'm glad you put it out there first. But I do. Simon and I have gotten to be friends over the last few months. And what I love that you are meat and potatoes, do the work, do it the old fashioned way, do it the right way, figure out how to apply that to whatever is the platform, but do it the right way. And that's what matters. And, all this craziness that's happening on Facebook right now, I think is just a reminder that even things like Facebook that seem like they are here forever and they're never going to change, you just don't know what's going to happen. And so building relationships first, which is what you teach people how to do, is what's going to last. And it's going to outlast Facebook however long this sort of golden age of Facebook for network marketing lasts or doesn't last. It doesn't matter if you build relationships, because the relationships will go with you as long as you set yourself up to take them with you wherever you need.
Yeah, you know what? The only residual out there, and there's companies that go out of business, there's network marketing companies that go out of business, right? The companies change, platforms change, Facebook will terminate again. The only residual there is your relationships.
Boom.
Yeah.
Grab that soundbite right there. Good God, we've been trying to say that to people forever. We never thought of it that succinctly.
That's perfect.
Yeah, hire him.
And that's why, Tom, like you say, you have a Rolodex, 50-year Rolodex. You don't know anything about Facebook, but you can still be very successful. Because your residuals in those, it's the value you've given over the 50 years to that Rolodex.
Amen. You're 100% right. Well, we still have all kinds of time. This is pretty cool. Ask him a question.
So you talked about Rolodex and kind of carrying that with you. And I was going to share a story from you earlier today. So we met with some guys who are really connected this morning. And what it really came down to in this conversation was going back to relationships. And you were telling a story about a guy who is really wealthy, who is pretty well known, who probably a lot of people are trying to get to, for example. And you told a story about something that happened where this guy bailed you out of something in 1986. And, how many people can say, obviously I got to get a lot older before I can say I did anything in 1986.
Yeah, you weren't born yet. Oh yeah, you were too.
I was just barely born.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like it's one part track record, but it's one part actually doing it to be able to have that kind of track record where you can develop those relationships that are really going to last. And those continue to pay off. And you have to make the investment now so that you're able to reap those rewards later.
Amen. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back right after this with Simon. We're going to show you how to get involved with MLM Nation. Go to the website, mlmnation.com right now. We'll be back right after this. And we're back with Simon. Don't you love him? Okay, so this is the break, Simon, so you can goof around. You can look Facebook, see if you want to say hi to any of your friends. You can do anything. Hello, Lilia Carrillo. I love you. So contact mapping.
Yeah. So
all that is Simon.
He lives it, and it's been fun because he's such a great follow-up guy. And we just, we've been kind of developing this relationship and going backwards and forwards, and really follow-up has been at the center of it. And so Simon, talk a little bit of, you told me a story as we were getting to know each other about a nickname that you earned early in your career. And so talk about what your nickname was and how you earned it.
Yeah, nickname was Follow-Up Fiend. I used to follow the Fiend, Follow-Up Fiend, FF, right? Follow-Up Fiend. Like a devil. What does fiend really mean? Like a devil, like crazy person, crazy animal, fiend. But you just follow up. And I think I learned early on that most people won't join. I think most people think, right? Reason people struggle. Everyone's going to join and buy my product. The reality is 95% of the people you talk to first time will not buy your product, will not buy your service, will not join. But they'll join later on, right? And I always believe this. Everyone is either later on in their life going to buy your product, be a customer, join your business, or give you a referral. Either one of those three things. But you got to be in the game, right, when they're ready. Because I saw this. I remember I had some friends when I first started, like when I did network marketing, because I was a kid. So I'm a kid now. I must be a baby back then. I was like, no one, they're like, what are you doing? They just want to party and have fun. What are you doing? And then when I saw them, they got older, they're serious girlfriends. And they went from partying every night to like dates, going out, and then getting married and kids. Now all of a sudden they're interested in secondary income. They're interested. They weren't laughing, oh, why are you wasting your Friday night to be on the call? Right? Because they're not partying anymore. They're worried about paying the bills for the milk, for the diapers, and for the college kid education stuff. So I saw that, wow, everyone is open. Everyone in their life at one point is going to be interested or intrigued or curious about network marketing, and they'll either join, be a customer, or give you a referral. But you got to be there. So you got to follow up. One of the first times I got my big leader, well, it took me 4 months of follow up. And I never was pushy. Every time I signed up someone, I was like, hey, things are awesome. I just got another one. I have 7 now. I have 8 people now. My team's 9. And finally, I think when I hit like 10 people, he caved. He said, all right, because people are watching your consistency, your journey. He came in, another leader, 5 years. She's watching me. Right? 5 years. And you just stay consistent, and people eventually will buy your product or join your business. But you got to follow up. I want to add one thing. When I first started, I had this feeling, and I think a lot of you listeners, you may feel that, like when you're following up with people, you're bothering them. Oh, I'm bothering Adrian again because I'm bothering them. You're not bothering people. Actually, for the successful people, like they appreciate you for following up. Right? Because like Adrian was following up with me all the time. And I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to get back to Adrian. I forgot. And I'm like, I thanked Adrian because I was busy. Time flies, right? Sometimes he's like, I remember the first time I told Adrian, he reached back to me in like two months because we were preparing for the event. And he followed up with him. I was like, that was not 2 months. That seemed like only 2 weeks. It was 2 months. I'm thanking him. right? So if you are never feel like you are bothering people, follow up with people they appreciate it just because they don't get that. And a lot of times if they don't get back to you, it's not because they're not interested, it's because they feel bad. They haven't actually taken the action that they said they were going to do.
So here's the text message I just got. How old are you, Simon?
That's a secret. You can't share that.
Okay, listen.
I'm young enough.
My cover photo has me at you guys' age, and one of the listeners just said I was much cooler, more hip than you guys way back when that picture was taken in 1994. So I want you both to put that in your pipe and smoke it. Tom Chenault rules. That's unbelievable.
Hey, I want to reply back to that person who said that if someone like Tom Young can look so uncool, and I don't know what else you were, uncool, right? He said
uncool.
Uncool. If someone uncool like Tom Chenault can make it, then you better make it too, and you can do it too.
That's exactly right. So that's cool. So we're back on the air now. So this is the Tom Chenault Show, in case they're trying to figure this out on the Genesis Communication Network. I got so excited by that comment that I just couldn't even figure out that I was on break now. All right. So Simon, MLM Nation. People join MLM Nation. What happens to them? They just run us through the whole process right now, because I want people to join you.
Well, we have a lot of valuable resources out there, a lot of free resources. I actually just came out, talk about timing, my first book. Okay, it's called 365 Motivational Quotes for the Network Marketer. So it's not really a book, it's like a resource, right? So because we're all busy, we don't have time for another book. So many great books out there. It's more like, go read the key books and take action. But I've created a resource, like a daily guide. People like Adrian, Tom, they get demotivated. There are days when, no matter Tom, he's uncool. He doesn't feel like doing anything, but he does it anyway. So it's not copying what leaders do, it's copying how they think. And every top leader has some type of quote that gets them going. And if you go to the book here, it actually has a list of, a day from January 1st all the way to December 31st, some quote, the top favorite quote that motivates them. So anyway, I think I want to really lift up the profession. Everyone can get a free PDF copy of it. Just go to mlmnation.com/book. mlmnation.com/book. You can download a free PDF copy for free. And from there, you can go to our website. We got, groups where I prospect together with people, our purpose-driven networker group, and one-on-one coaching. But we don't need to spend time talking about that. Just go get the book. I think it will help every one of you out there.
Talk real quick about what you've got coming up in a couple of weeks or a month or so down under.
Down under. I know you guys go down under. In Australia is one of my favorite countries. I last year went there like 5-6 times. We have the longest running generic training event called No BS. No BS, no hype. It's the 7th year we're doing this in a row. It's going to be August 24th, 25th in Brisbane. So we have featured not just me, but the top leaders from Australia will be there. You can go to nobsnohype.com for the more info.
What's the date?
August 24th and 25th.
Well, look at my schedule. I might be able to go to that.
That might be good.
I'm completely a man without a country. My wife I'm living with my mother-in-law. So as a result of that, I've got to go on the road to get away, because what could possibly go wrong? My mother-in-law is closer to my age than my wife. We have a puppy. I mean, it is a nightmare bear looking for a place to happen. So we're just calling it Tom travel time. So anybody that invites me anywhere, I'm just going. I don't care what it is.
Brisbane, here we come.
I'm coming to Brisbane with you, Simon. I'll buy my own ticket. I don't have to speak. I'll just be in the audience, man. It's that simple. So yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Hang out with us.
Yeah, we'll hang out. Yeah, well, it'll be fun. That's exactly right. There's Metamucil in this cup right here. You think I'm drinking something like coffee or something? No, Metamucil. So it's awesome. You don't even know what that means. It's very exciting. So no, we are fans of yours, man. Authentic fans of Simon Chan. And all of you listening out there, mlmnation.com/book. Get the free book. Get the vibe of this guy, because he's truly the real deal. You agree?
Absolutely. And there's so many more things that you could plug that you didn't, but the podcast is unbelievable. Your Facebook lives are great. Just go get plugged into what Simon's doing, because it's not about him. It's about who he brings in and who's in his circle. and it's great people. It's always a great conversation. And so you want to check that out.
He's one of my follow first guys, and you're not.
Especially check out.
Hear that?
I'm not a pallbearer, and now I'm not a follow first.
And you are. So you can also be my pallbearer. I mean, you look stronger. So yeah.
Hey, one more. If we talk about podcasts, I didn't talk much about it, but we've been over almost 600 episodes. But if you're going to check out one episode, check out episode 200.
That was 200.
That features a really uncool guy. His initials were TC, but somehow he became successful. I don't know how you did it.
That was number 200, that podcast.
200, I remember.
Oh, I love you so much. It's unbelievable. You guys, here's what's great about network marketing done right. You can join things with a click and sign people up with a click, and they're just going to leave you with a click. But when you go out there and you develop deep relationships, and you actually, I was with a friend of mine the other day that was all pissed off because they just didn't get invited anywhere. And I get invited everywhere. And they said, why do you're ugly, you're old, you're fat. Why do you get invited? And I don't get invited to all this stuff. And this is the truth. If you want friends, you've got to be a better friend. So if you're not reaching out, my wife goes out of town, I pick up that phone, I call 40 guys and I say, let's go do something. And 2 or 3 of them will say I'm going, but my life is like this coffee cup again. I'm going to say, I am a recovering alcoholic and network marketer. Would you still like to have a cup of coffee with me? Like the most unpopular guy in the world. So I know that, especially in my town. So I have to generate those friendships. They are not going to just come to you. That's on Facebook. That's in life. That's in Monument, Colorado. That's wherever you are. You've got to generate those friendships. Trust me, I'm a doctor on that. Agreed?
And I think you have to think long term. Most friendships don't happen right away. Like you said, some guy from 1986.
Yeah.
Right? Most people don't. They're not interested in my product business. Oh, they're no good. Now, first of all, network marketing is really like a small, this, Tom, a small part of life, right? You have life about health, spiritual, all these other things, sports, whatever. Like someone you meet, you follow up with may not join your business, but may give you a referral. See, most people think, oh, this person is the destination. Most prospects is not the destination. It's the doorway to the destination. It's becoming friends with someone, and then they invite you to a barbecue, and at the barbecue, you happen to bump into Tom Chenault. That's the key.
All right, this show is over. We'll see you all next week on the Tom Chenault Show. Thanks for listening. And we're back. Do not hang up. Everybody stay put. This guy's too good. Okay, so here's what happens to me. I write down these guys we met with these 2 zillionaires today. And because Adrian picked my pocket on the house, I had to pick a couple more pockets today. So something happened in my life. I co-signed a loan for a guy. Inadvertently ended up costing me over $100,000. Thought it was in the rearview mirror. 3 years later, I'm sitting in the house with Denise. Doorbell rings. It's a process server. And there was another sideline in the document with the guy that got me for the 100, where it cost me another 25. And I was all pissed off. And I was so guilty. It was unbelievable. And this guy is a zillionaire. So anyway, I'm going, what am I going to do? I'm dead to rights. My name's on there. I didn't know it. All I did was sign documents, and they got me. So I went and saw this guy that's got seriously a $500 million net worth. And I sat down with him and I said, listen, man, you got to let me off the hook. I mean, darn well that didn't happen the way it went down. Here's a guy I'd never met before, huge, iconic guy. And he turns into the nicest guy. He goes, oh man, you're an idiot. Why'd you make that deal? I can sue you. I can get the money. Let's just make a deal. You pay it and I'll figure out a way to make it right. And I go, sounds good. So we shake hands. I walk out of the office. He calls me back a couple of days later, says, I own a golf course. Says, here's what we're going to do. So he made a deal with me. I made the deal. I paid the 25 grand. But then I got to thinking, I got to get that 25 grand back, because that just made me so doggone mad. So at the end of the day, we stuck Adrian in the club. He's out there playing golf. I'm 100. I'm going, this isn't fair. He got me on my house. I can't let him play golf forever. So I called him back and I renegotiated the deal today. And we met with the other owners of the golf course. And we had the most powerful conversation with a couple of more zillionaires on how they win, letting me have a chance to earn the 25 grand back by bringing in members. And I am just going to tell you guys one thing right now. you want to be good in all your relationships. Let other people win so you win. Let other people, I mean, that's all it boils down to. Everybody left that meeting feeling better about their lives than they did when they got there. Right? It's cool.
It was really cool.
And they expected a negotiation. It wasn't a negotiation. It was a
I think that's the big key. I think everyone wants to win, but if you win in the short term, you always lose on the long term.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Right.
No
But you
doubt.
let people feel good. Let people feel like they won. They're always grateful to you. It always comes back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gary Vaynerchuk had a thing about that the other day. That same idea of just when you do deals, make it so that people feel like they won a little bit more than they deserved in that deal, and it's gonna you're gonna create long-term relationships that are gonna pay off instead of trying to eke every little bit of blood out of that turnip on the way into that deal, so that they feel like you feel like you won, they feel like they got hosted, and they go, well, I don't want to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you and I mean, here's, and just go into this. Simon and I are friends. I knew darn well when Adrian decided to get in this space, if I try to hook him up with John Hammock and all my dinosaur friends, nothing's going to happen. It's just going to be a bunch of dinosaurs. He's going to be trying to explain contact mapping to them. And I had to get Adrian with some guys that were smart, that were relevant, that understood. And it was really, really cool having, Colin, I don't even know if I called, I think you called. Well, I'm not going to take credit for anything I didn't do, but I just knew you guys were a marriage made in heaven. And it was smart guys, ambitious guys, faith guys, family guys. That's easy to do. And you put good people together and great stuff happens, right, Simon?
Absolutely. And that's how you add value. You're a connector.
Yeah. And that's what you are. You are a connector. And we're going to do some business, my friend, for a long, long time. And we're going to start by driving some people to mlmnation.com/book. If you guys didn't go do that, I'm coming to your house. I mean, you got to help me with this, because otherwise I look like a nutcase. So make sure you go in there to mlmnation.com/book and do it, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really excited to check that out.
All right. Simon, we love you. Thank you so much for coming on. Have an unbelievable day, and know you're welcome back here anytime.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. It's an honor. And thank you for letting me, fulfill my vision, have a positive impact as many lives as possible. Thank you, guys. God bless you. And talk to you guys soon.
See you later. Bye-bye. I hope I live long enough to be on episode number 400.
Yeah, we're way past 400. We need to get you on. We need to get you on soon. We're coming September. So now Adrian and I are working on it.
All right. Deal. See you later, baby. Bye-bye.
Bye.